Hi, I'm Mac, and I think amiibo are great.
Amiibo!
They're not new, but still cool. They give little unlocks across a ton of different games. They're fun to collect, and they're pretty good quality figures, so they're great to put on display. There is a lot of different figure display stands and shelves for figure collectors out there, and you can get them for really cheap, but there's not really a lot in the way of flavor there. They just serve their purpose. Well, those are just generic figure storage. What about stuff that's got that big, sexy Nintendo stamp of approval? First up are 4 themed amiibo stands from PDP. PDP make tons of gaming crap like headsets and carrying cases, but they're most well known for their controllers, specifically their Rock Candy and Afterglow controllers. What does PDP even stand for, by the way? In 2015 and 2016, People's Democratic Party released 4 amiibo displays. The first is a Zelda-themed one modeled after the Master Sword and its stone pedestal like an Ocarina of Time. I wish I had one to show you myself, but they just don't make them like they used to anymore, meaning they don't make them at all, and I literally can't find one for sale anywhere, so here's the merchant video from the Amazon page. The Master Sword is removable and doubles as a 3DS stylus, and the stand plays music when you pull the sword out like it does in actual Zelda games. And a sword sound effect when you push it back in. The next stand is based on Bowser's Castle in Super Mario Bros., complete with crunchy 8-bit lava and a motorized wind-up spinning fire bar, which is absolutely fantastic and in no way, shape, or form necessary. I wish I could show you how it spins myself, but, well... Next is a classic Mario warp pipe. The circular amiibo base fits right into the pipe, so this stand was an inevitability. Now, while all of those were pretty, I wouldn't really call them storage solutions, so if you want something that can house more than a single amiibo, look no further than the Donkey Kong amiibo display, a 3-tiered hunk of plastic with enough slots for 9 whole amiibo. So, I heard you want to look at more plastic crap third-party controller manufacturers stopped making in 2017. Well, good news. PowerA also made a few amiibo displays of their own. PowerA basically makes the same kind of stuff as Party for Democratic Prosperity. Lots of console headsets, chargers, cases, and a plethora of controllers. And they also made 2 official amiibo display stands. The first one is pretty basic, a plastic base with 4 slots and an extremely uninspired decorative cardboard backdrop. The coolest part about this display is that it comes with a sticker sheet of little name labels to stick to the base. The problem is, the only included labels are a few from the Smash Brothers line, so if that's not what you're planning on displaying, well, you should probably go f*** yourself. Oh god, how am I gonna tell Waddle Dee and Rathalos apart now? Just kidding, there's a few blank ones too if you're really desperate. I know I am. Anyway, the second PowerA display is objectively the coolest. The PowerA Amiibo end level display does in fact depict the end of a Super Mario Bros. Level in its picture on the box, but the actual display is made up of Lego-like blocks that you can fit together in different shapes or just take apart completely to use each one as an amiibo stand. The green base, which can also be used as an amiibo display by itself, comes with the end level flag. Out of all of the official amiibo displays, this is the one I remember seeing the most of, but it fell to the same fate as the others. The final of these officially licensed amiibo displays is by Hori. Just like PowerA and Pacific Drums and Percussion, Hori makes controllers and other accessories like cases, though they're especially known for their arcade sticks. Here I've got a new 3DS XL protector case from Hori, which they for some reason stopped selling really soon after the system came out. New 3DS XL protector cases like this are in general pretty difficult to find outside of Japan for some reason, so I've decided to make the fact that I own some the focal point of my personality. Now let's take a look at the Hori Amiibo Collect and Display case. This one seems to be a fan favorite among collectors for several reasons, including the fact that the amiibo snaps firmly into place, it includes a clear cover to protect the amiibo from dust, and you can still use the amiibo without taking it out. As far as I'm concerned, this is basically the equivalent of placing your amiibo on a throne. It really makes your amiibo look important. If I had one, I might put in one of my favorites like my Link's Awakening amiibo, but I don't. So, Now, besides these assorted displays, there are also a good handful of officially licensed amiibo carrying cases, and I could cover those in the future if anyone's interested, but I consider that a different topic. And also, why do people buy those? Why are you bringing your amiibo places? What do you need that for right now? We just took a look at a bunch of officially licensed amiibo displays. Now I know what you're thinking. Those were a bit too waterproof for my liking. I was browsing my least favorite website the other day when I got recommended the strangest product. In 2016, Nintendo released a line of 6 amiibo dioramas only in Japan. They're little pre-made dioramas made of cardboard and plastic, and all you have to do is punch them out, fold them, and put them together, no glue required. These dioramas interested me so much I bought one of each. I f***ing hate glue. First up is the Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and Nintendo 3DS amiibo diorama. It's a pretty faithful replica of the Battlefield stage, using a screenshot printed straight from the game. Alongside the Kirby one, this one's the cheapest and easiest to find. I put this one together before this video was conceived, and I don't want to damage it by taking it back apart, so unfortunately I don't have footage of its assembly, but this is probably one of the simplest to put together. All there is the cardboard side pieces to prop it open, the 2 plastic platforms, and a tiny plastic Smash Ball standee that you can just stick wherever. My amiibo collection isn't half as big as I wish it was, and the only Smash Bros. Series amiibo I have is Lucas, but I tried my best to fit the theme. Next up is the aforementioned Kirby diorama. When I bought it off of Amazon, I noticed the Japanese Waddle Dee amiibo was pretty cheap, so I bought that too, since I didn't have any Kirby series amiibo. It's exactly the same as the North American one, the only difference being the box, which doesn't matter anyway because I opened it. This diorama was released on April 28th, 2016, alongside the release of the Kirby series of amiibo and Kirby Planet Robobot for the 3DS. The diorama isn't Robobot themed so much as it's vaguely Kirby themed, but I guess so are the amiibo. Like the Smash Bros. Diorama, this one has a cardboard backdrop with a puffy plastic base and mildly phallic pieces used to hold the diorama open. Unlike the other diorama though, this one has 4 explicit slots for amiibo and no platforms, instead coming with a bunch of little paper decorations you fold into shape. The backdrop and accessories look like generic official renders. This diorama doesn't quite have the same depth as some of the others, but I still think it's pretty cute. Again, I only own one amiibo that's part of the series this diorama is based on, so I tried my best to improvise. Now things are gonna get f***ing weird. There is in fact one officially licensed third-party amiibo diorama manufactured by Capcom, being the Monster Hunter Stories diorama. It released on October 8th, 2016, alongside the very cool Japan-only Monster Hunter Stories amiibo and Monster Hunter Stories for 3DS. As you can see, even the packaging is different. The contents are even more different. There's no paper involved here. Everything is made of plastic, and a much thicker plastic than we saw before on Nintendo-made dioramas. I mean, look at all of this excess plastic. I could make shelter out of this. You can stick all of these little decorations in whatever slots you want, with extreme difficulty. There's actually not really a traditional base. Your amiibo sort of wears the whole thing like a belt. I also noticed these notches that give me the sense that you're intended to buy multiple dioramas if you so desire, so you can snap them into place in rows and mix and match the decorations, but I didn't do that because I've had enough, thanks. Here I have one of the Japanese Monster Hunter Stories amiibo, this one being Dan and Kurupeko. These are really cool because you can actually remove the riders and mix and match riders and monsters. It looks a little R-rated, but it doesn't even matter because I only have the one, and that's the perfect number of amiibo to have for this diorama. The Monster Hunter Stories 2 amiibo also look great on display here. Oh, also the diorama comes with a QR code you can redeem in-game for some extra items. Neat. Okay, enough weirdo shit, let's look at some squids. This Splatoon diorama is a stage themed after Callie and Marie, the Squid Sisters from Splatoon 1. The Callie and Marie amiibo came out on the same day as the diorama in Japan, although the game itself had already been out for a year by that point. Actually, this is one of the more creative dioramas. It comes with multiple backdrops, one to let you insert your 3DS, preferably a larger model so the frame fits well, one to insert your phone, and one normal backdrop. I'm not really sure why you would put your 3DS or phone in there more than once after the initial novelty of it, but it was fun. The diorama also came with a sticker sheet, which pained me to use as a collector, but overjoyed me to use as an infant. These would look best with the Callie and Marie amiibos, but these guys deserve a spotlight once in a while. That means I don't have them. You thought we were done with squids, didn't you? You should see your face right now. The second Splatoon diorama is based on the Kelp Dome stage. Like the Smash diorama, the backdrop is just a literal image of the in-game stage, but the base is actually really cool. It released on the same day as the other Splatoon diorama because alongside the Callie and Marie amiibo, all of these other amiibo released that day as well. Yeah, my camera turned off when I was assembling this one, so you're just gonna kinda have to use your imagination again. They got a little ambitious with this one. This little plastic ramp won't stay down! Like its sister, this diorama also includes stickers. Alongside stuff like ink splatters, the sticker sheet also has UI elements from the game, like the timer, so you can make the diorama look kinda like an in-game screenshot. The instructions show some of the stickers stuck on the amiibo themselves, which I skipped because, well, you only get so many strikes, and I feel like opening the amiibo box was the first one, so... Last but not least, the rarest of the dioramas, the Animal Crossing Amiibo diorama, or the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival diorama, to be specific. Hear me out. As you can see, this one doesn't come in the same official packaging as the others. In fact, it doesn't appear on Nintendo's official Japanese website that lists the Amiibo dioramas either. That's because this diorama wasn't ever available for purchase. Rather, it was given away by Japanese stores exclusively to customers who purchased a copy of Amiibo Festival, alongside either 2 Animal Crossing Amiibo figures, or an Animal Crossing Amiibo figure and a pack of Animal Crossing Amiibo cards. I think this bundle was pretty good foresight from Nintendo, considering nobody was really buying the Animal Crossing Amiibo before New Horizons came out, and to this day they basically pay you to own a copy of Amiibo Festival. The backdrop is just an image of the official promotional artwork they used for ads, as well as on the North American and Japanese box art. It's pretty disappointing since it's something we've seen a million times before. To be honest, all the dioramas would be way cooler if Nintendo actually had original art done for them instead of just recycling assets. At least the base is cute, it works well with the concept, and it's creative. Each of the 4 amiibo slots mimics the spaces you move on in the actual game. The diorama also comes with a bunch of these little paper standees, and... God damn it, they want you to glue these! Because I'm a passionate anti-glue advocate, I used washi tape instead, which uses a weak adhesive so it's less likely to damage the standees, and also so that the standees can do sick flips. This diorama makes the most sense for me to have, since I own so many Animal Crossing amiibos, since they're cheap. And I'm pretty happy with how nice and colorful it turned out to be, even if the background art is recycled. Well, that's all of them. So, here's a question. Why haven't any new amiibo displays been released in the past few years? Well, Amiibo first released in 2014, so by 2015 they had picked up steam and there were enough of them out from all different series for them to be able to capitalize on something like themed displays. By this point, Amiibo had overcome those early stock shortages that plagued them, and these dioramas and displays came out when they were booming in popularity. This boom lasted about until late 2016, which you may notice is the last year any of the displays I've mentioned came out. That was the year the previously flourishing Toys to Life market crashed. Both Skylanders and Disney Infinity died that year after a period of poor performance. LEGO Dimensions managed to limp its way out of the house fire, to promptly be run over in the driveway in early 2017. Amiibo, being so versatile in comparison to these other figures that only worked with a single game series, survived the fire, but they haven't quite returned to the peak of their former glory. And it seems like both third-party manufacturers and Nintendo themselves just don't see the idea of these displays as profitable anymore, especially when up against cheap, generic, flavorless figure displays. All in all, I think amiibo dioramas are a really great idea, but the execution leaves much to be desired, and I understand why they never really caught on. Now, I realize I just explained to you that it's a good idea to display your amiibos and then showed you a bunch of stuff that's not manufactured anymore. So, I have a solution. First 5 buyers get 20% off. Please contact me, I made like 50 of these.